Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is All Things Thursday and we have all the things today. I'm so excited for a couple of these products. I splurged. I really splurged. The Raam Refined, I have a new set. They also came in dented, as you can see there. However, I have gone through the pencils and I have not found any broken ones. I did find one that the tip came out when I was sharpening it. I will be going through these and doing the rest of the uh, first impressions on it from last week. I'll finish that, but we will do that in a few moments. We'll do that at the end of the video. I got them. I got them. I got the 76 luminance and the two full blenders. I finished the set. I finished it. Yay! I was so excited. I have a few in here that are repeats, of course, so I will have some extras. So I've gone through and obviously swatched the ones that I didn't have and turned them around. So that's why there's some that are backwards, but they're so pretty. This box is a week's worth of groceries for the house. Um, oops. But they were my Black Friday splurge. My husband got a splurge for Black Friday sales, and so did I. And this was my Black Friday splurge. They were on sale, and they are currently still on sale. Actually, they're on sale cheaper now than when I bought them by a few dollars. That's why I'm not horribly upset about it. It's like $4 cheaper right now. But if you are paying attention to the community tab, which you don't have to, of course, but in the community tab, I have the deals of the day listed, and the Caran Dash 76 and the Caran Dash 20, I think it's the skin tones, are on sale right now. Also, the Derwent Light Fast are on sale right now. The Brute Funer 520 set is on sale for less than $100. So if you were thinking about getting the Brute Funers, but we're going, well, it's $130 for a low grade or a mid grade pencil, they're $99 right now. So just saying, those are all listed on the community page. But these beautiful little babies came, and I swatched them, and I played with them. Well, I didn't play with them. I just swatched them. I just put them down in their swatch. I made it all pretty. Filled it in. Now I got to put them all in my case. But I will be playing with these a little more throughout the week. Of course, I will let you know what I think of them after playing with them. I'm not going to do first impressions because I've already done that with the Caran Dash Luminance when I received my 40 set from a friend of mine who sent me the 40 set. And I love them. So I got the 40 set, loved them, bought the 20 plus 4 or 20 plus 6 set from, I think it was Jerry's Artorama or Blick's. Loved them. And then I was going to buy the individual pencils to fill the set. And to be honest, I took it to my husband because even with the sale that Blick's was having and that Jerry's was having, the cost for the individual pencils was almost the same or more than the entire 76 set. So why would I not buy the 76 set and keep those extra pencils for backups instead of, just filling in my set? So that's what I did. And that's what he said to me. That is not what I said to him. That's what he said to me. Because I was on the fence with it. I did the math and did the calculations and added the shipping and everything else for the 36 pencils. And I have ordered individual pencils from Blick before and received them in a baggie, in a shipping bag. And I didn't want to have that happen with the Caran d'Ache pencils. I don't know why. I just treasure them a little more. I didn't want it happening with the Derwents either, but that's the way they came. So I have learned that sometimes ordering one-offs of a product can be scary. It's as a pencil collector, you don't want any of your babies damaged. And when they're just stuffed in a baggie and stuffed in a shipping envelope, you worry that they're going to get damaged because let's face it, the postal service and the courier services are not gentle with our packages, not even a little bit. So I was concerned about having the Caran d'Ache sent that way. Sometimes they're okay and wrap them in bubble wrap, but when I ordered the filler pencils for my Derwent metallic set, there was no wrap. There was nothing on it. It was literally stuffed in a baggie and put into a shipping envelope and sent to me. So I wasn't happy. But that's neither here nor there. I didn't want to have that happen to these, so I took it to my husband and said, okay, this is how much they are per pencil. I need this many pencils to fill in the set. This is what it's going to cost. Or they're on sale on Amazon for about the same price for a 76 set. He said, no brainer, get the 76 set. So that's what I did. I listened to my husband. The next set I'm really, really excited about. Blue, look what I got. Blue is one of my subscribers, and he has been pining for this set. And it's such a pretty set. This was made for the Brazilian market. Like the pencils themselves even say Brazil. They're not embossed, but stamped with Brazil words, like shipping information and whatnot. So they come packaged. They are packaged to the hilt. First, they come in this outer sleeve that you stick this in. So what you do to open it, because I struggled with it for a little bit. They did, the little handle up here did get a little damaged in shipping, but you pop these off like this, like this. Then you pull this out like this, and then the pencils, the inside package slips out like that, and then you have another box. So now you have to go to the edge of your other box and pull that down to open that. And then we're getting there, I promise. Then you pull out this package. This package is tightly wrapped with plastic, like very tightly wrapped. So the pencils aren't going to move around in this packaging whatsoever. So don't worry too much about your pencils being shaken up or damaged in shipping with the packaging that they provide. Isn't this a pretty package? These are made to color both on white and black, and I will be swatching them on both white and black. And then you open this like this to see all the pretties. Now you have to be a little careful when you're unraveling it. it has four departments, four sections, and you can stand them up if you're careful. You can do it so that they're all stood up like this, so that you can get to your pencils all the way around your desk. But you can stand them up. They are in, they do have an order to them. They are in color family order. The ones down here at the end, these ones here, are the pastel and the neons. And they're just absolutely beautiful pencil. I'm going to switch you over to the close-up camera so you can see. They're an Eco Super Soft. They have a number and the Faber-Castell. And then up here, there's a stamp. Where it's made for Brazil and made in Brazil. Just really pretty. They don't have a color name on them, but they do have a color number. Even on the inside of the packaging, it does not have a color name. So you're not stuck with, okay, that's tree bark brown. You know, you can definitely be able, you are definitely able to say, okay, I need this one, and this one to make a tree bark. Really pretty pencils. They do say that this is a artist grade, or a beginner artist grade, I should say, student grade. But we will talk more tomorrow on how they do on the swatches, because I do need to swatch them. I had a couple that were chipped, so we will be sharpening them and of course doing our initial first impressions of them. I just think they're so pretty. And of course they are completely dipped at the end with the color. And they're true to color. They're really, really, really close to color. Oh, that's for the Caran d'Ache. Let's see if I can find something. Yeah, I'll use this one. We'll explain this chart here in a minute. Well, let's use this one here. They are a layering pencil. Of course, with Faber-Castell, most of their pencils are a layering pencil. But these, it takes about 5, maybe 4 or 5 layers to get a full true color out of the pencil. So it doesn't take 20, 30, 40 different layers just to get one color out of a pencil. So that's really good. So as you can see, they're really true to color for their dips. And that was basically where I was going with that, is that each of the color tips are dipped. So if you are using, say, my pencil holder and it's flipped forward on you, this is the actual color that is going to be provided to you by your pencil, which is awesome. Because in my pencil holder, all of the tips will be showing to you if you bring down the pencil holder for that section. So that was another splurge. These are not economical at all. Just so you know, the pencils, because they are coming from a different market, they do tend to increase the price of them for this market because they're not supposed to be in this market. They are not created for the US market. They are created for the Brazilian market. So they were expensive. For 100 pencils, it's about 70 cents a pencil. So they are expensive for a student grade, but I have been looking for them ever since Blue told me that they were a thing. So I got them. It's all Blue's fault, but I got them. All right, so we're going to put these away. And of course, on the box itself, it has the pencils in the front. And then up here on the top, it has a color chart. I don't know if this color chart is true to color and true to order, but I'm pretty sure it is just by looking at this area here where it goes from black into your pastels and your neons. However, we always know that the coloring on a box, the paint on the pencil, and the core of the pencil, 9 times out of 10 do not match up. So be careful with that. Test your pencils, check as you're doing your swatch if they match up, if they line up. Leave a little mark on your swatch if they don't, so that you know, okay, this is yellowy green, but the dip on the pencil is dark green. That's not going to happen with these, but it can happen. As you can see, there was a bit of damage done to the box during shipping, but it didn't affect the pencils at all. So I was quite pleased with that. Like I said, the inner box was very well protected. It had a very tight layer of cellophane around it. So when you open the box, it was you didn't have like everything flung everywhere. All right, so that is the Faber-Castell 100 Eco pencils. They are classified as super soft, and they will be played with tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Now for the continuation of these pencils here. These are the Raam Rerfined, and if you remember, the box that I was using, excuse me, had some weird and not so pleasant manufacturing defects on the pencils themselves. It wasn't anything to do with the coloration or anything like that, but it did have a lot to do with the pencils. And the first set I got was pretty scratchy. Now I did purchase, I will tell you a secret, I did purchase both these sets at the same time. One of which I was going to use for a giveaway, but if they're not very nice, I'm just not going to use them as a giveaway. So I wanted to check this set, and as you can tell, I'm having some issues opening it because there is a dent in it. So let's open these up. Now I have gone through and I have sharpened the ones that I was having issues with being extremely scratchy, because that's where we were at the time of deciding that I just wasn't going to go through them all. They are in numeric order, so when you do your coloring, they do have a name on them, but they also have a numeric order. So when you're doing your coloring or when you're doing your swatching, it's very simple to put them in numeric order. Now, to me, their order is off a little. There are several different pencils that I am going to have to move around. For example, this brown here, this green here, this green here, this green here. They've got greens just randomly thrown into places. Not a big deal. Rearrange your set. Basically, when you rearrange your set, if you don't know how to rearrange your set, look at your color wheel. Your color wheel gives you the ability, and this is how I learned how to rearrange my sets. And then I got a better color wheel. Hold on a sec, let me grab my color wheel. Okay, so if you prefer your sets to start with yellow, and then go to your orange yellows, and then your yellow orange, and then your orange, and then your red orange, and then your orange red, and then your reds, your violet reds, your red violets. And this color wheel will give you a good indication all the way down of what colors should be in those families. On the other side here, it also gives you a good indication in the pastel or the lighters, so pinks, peachy tones, the different levels of peach tones into your pinks, into your violet reds, different layers of different colors that should be, say, with the yellows, should be with the yellow oranges, so that you can go through your set and say, okay, this one here should be with the yellow orange. So it should be down here somewhere. This one here should definitely be with the yellows. This one here should be with the yellows, and that sort of thing. It gives you a really good indication of both the tones or shades as well as the tints. So that's one thing that I really enjoy about this particular swatch or swatching tool, basically. This particular tool is it gives me the ability to say, okay, here's, I guess it's six different colors of yellow if you add black or gray to it. So the further down you go, the more gray or black has been added to it. If you go to the opposite side, you go yellow, and the closer into the center you go, the more white has been added, which gives you your tint. It also helps with figuring out what you're doing with pan pastels, whether you're getting a true color, a tint, or a shade, because pan pastels do come that way. A true color would be this color here, up here, and then a shade would be this, the deepest shade would be this one here. And then a tint, a true color is up here, the full tint is down here. So as you gradually move down, it's the more white or gray or black that has been added to the color to create that depth. So I will go through this and I will reorder it as per the color wheel, as per my preference. Now, all of these first impressions and first, initial reviews, things like that, actually everything on my channel is my opinion and my opinion alone. It is first impressions for me. It is the color. When I do my color charts, I put them in an order that works best for me. I find that I don't work well without a color chart. That's just me. A lot of people will just grab their pencils and just color with them and do beautiful, beautiful work with it. I personally have a tendency to require having that visual aid to help me pick my colors. And like I said, it's just me. Sometimes I don't even care if they're in order, as long as I have them in the same area. Like right here is all the pinky tones. So as long as they're in the same area, sometimes I don't bother re-swatching it, because keeping it in number order makes more sense so that it's easy to put away. But if there's not a number or a color order family in the mix there, like this one here, I have to move. It's just not even close to that color family. This one here, I have to move. It's not even close to the color family it's in. So that's my point with color families and swatch charts, is as long as it's in sort of the right space, I'm okay with that. If it's all higgly-piggly all over the place, yes, I reorder it because it doesn't make sense to my brain, and I will ignore this color. I'll completely ignore it because it's not in with these colors. It's not because I don't like that color. it's because it's not in its proper spacing. It's not in its proper placement. And, it's just the way my brain works. It's just, you know, me. It's like this gray here. Because it's up here and not down here, when I look at my color chart, I'm going to go here where all the grays are. My brain is just instantly going to focus in on the largest section of gray and say, okay, there's my grays. It's not going to look up here or over here for another gray. So that's why I fiddle with things and put them all in order. But I'm digressing at the moment. My brain is going, eek. So yes, I will be reordering this swatch chart. All right, so I went through and I pulled out a bunch of different ones, mostly blues and greens, because they were the scratchiest. So I'm pulling out ones during the swatch that I actually entered yes on, or put in between, because while I was swatching, I was finding that they were extremely scratchy. I'm going to switch you over to the close-up so you can see what I mean. On my swatch chart below each swatch area, I have a yes or a no. So for example, number 45 here, I swatched it. When I finished swatching it, it wasn't scratchy at all. So it went to a no. When I did this one, it was scratchy, so it went to a yes. I have sharpened this one. I do believe yes. I have sharpened this one and re-swatched it over here and found that it is no longer scratchy. I didn't do the yes or no's on this one because I had done them on here, and I will do that again when I re-swatch everything. Same with down here, I did the greens in this area here. So I had this one here, which was really scratchy. I re-swatched it down here, and it's not so scratchy. And it laid down a lot nicer after sharpening it. So this set is definitely one of those sets where you're going to want to sharpen your pencils when you get them. I have a tendency to not sharpen my pencils when I first get them, because I want to see if the manufacturer's marketing is correct. Now, I did do the water test, and as you can tell, they do move with water. The yellow, not as much as the red. The blue, not as much as the red. The yellow actually did pretty good and didn't move very far at all. But when I did the smudge test, all of them moved quite a bit. And I did put many, many layers down to get the layer ability of like the thickness of the pencil there. So I'm going to take a couple of different colors. I'm going to take a reddy orange color here. So this is new red orange. And we're going to take yellow. And we're going to recreate this. And I need a blue as well, so that I can try to make the green. So as you can see, I used, oh dear, that one broke. Let's see if that'll come out. I bumped it and it snapped. So as you can see, this green is a very, very dark green because I used a fairly dark blue. So I'm going to use a lighter blue this time around. Let's check that, make sure it's not broken in the core. And it's not, it's just I bumped it the wrong way. So let's grab a lighter blue. Not one that's got any green in it, just a light blue. So this is just straight light blue. I don't think we can get any lighter than, any more blue than that is a light blue. So with a light blue, I should get a nice green that you should be able to see. My camera likes to do all sorts of weird things to me, so every once in a while it'll decide that it's not going to show those colors. Okay, so we're going to do the red. Make sure that you don't sharpen too sharp. As you can see, I sharpened a little too sharp on that. So there's one layer, two layers, three layers. Now, in my opinion, an oil-based pencil should not require more than 5 layers to get a good laydown of color. So I've done 5 layers there, and as you can see, you can still see quite a bit of white spot in there. So I'm going to go the opposite direction. With a layer, and it fills it in pretty good. Now we're going to take the yellow, and we're going to start here in, and of course I've got it too sharp, so just be careful of that. I'm going to start here in the red, and we're going to start one, and I'm going to drag it out a little bit so that we can go into it with the blue. There's one. Sorry about the train. 2, 3, 4, 5. Just going to go back one more. There we go. So as you can see here, because I started off with an orangey red, it's not changed as much as it did up here, but it did change it. Now I'm going to go the opposite direction just to fill in the white spot. And I'm not using a heavy hand, I'm just going over it with a lighter hand and doing the layers to see if we can get that color blend. Okay, so now we're going to go over it with the blue, and we're going to extend it out so we can see the blue. And there we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to go the opposite direction just to fill in the white spot, because white spot drives me loopy. I know, Shannon, and embrace your white spot. All right. So there's our layered blending between the red. Now this is a red orange, so it's showing a little orange on there, into making an orange, a pure orange color, a yellow, into a green from a blue. So it did blend to create new colors, which is great, which is one of the things that you look for when you're building color, is if your pencils are going to blend to create a new color, or to create that progressed color. So let's see if we can get a progressive blend here. So we're going to go put this orange one back here. We're going to go from light, really light yellow, a medium yellow, and then yellow yellow. So we've got a really light yellow here, a medium yellow here, and then yellow. So we've got turmeric, bright yellow, and yellow. Now I'm going to sharpen up the turmeric and the bright yellow, and we'll see if we can do a progression and see if we end up with any harsh lines Darker colors are a little bit easier to see the harsh line in than lighter colors, so we might do it again with a darker color, but we'll see. We'll see if we can actually see the progression. I'm just going to break off those really harsh little tips there. I know I shouldn't sharpen them so sharp, but sometimes I really like them sharp. All right, so let's start with the yellow. I'm going to start down here. Let's grab a clear space, and we're going to start with the yellow. Light layers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a very light color. And then we're going to just extend that out just a little bit, just 1 layer. Not enough to really put any huge amount of pigment on the page, but enough to marry the next color into. All right, so now we're going to go with the bright yellow, and we're marrying that together. So we're going over that edge that we extended out a little bit, and we're going to marry that together. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then out just 1 layer, out the edge. Now for your darkest color, this is just straight bright yellow. We go into that color with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, as you can see, there is a continual progression of color. This one here I did a little bit larger than this one, but there's a continual progression of color in from the light into the medium into the dark. So you're not getting, and I don't think I went far enough into the medium with the dark. I think I missed it. So let's just make sure that we throw that in there, because it looked like I kind of missed it. There we go. So you're not getting a hard line. That's what I'm looking for, is a soft transition into the next color. These are giving me that soft transition, which is fantastic. They are also covering 99% of the white spot, which also is fantastic to me. So once you've done this part, you can go back over it with your lightest color in an opposite direction, right over the entire thing. Fill in that white spot and blend those colors together into making that progression complete. So they blend quite well, both in transitioning, making new colors as you go along, rainbow affecting, as well as a 3-color blend transition. So it's going from light, medium to dark with a 5-layer blend. So what I mean by a 5-layer blend is where I'm able to put down enough pigment on the paper with 5 layers per pencil. So I'm only doing 15 layers, maybe 16 with my blending layer. What I mean by blending layer is where I go over it with the lightest color to fill in any of those white spots and drag any excess color into the next color to eliminate that hard line. Now you can also use a blending pencil for this. Now I have my Caran d'Ache blender here because I don't know what I did with my Blick. Okay, there's the Blick. So I have a Blick, oh no, this is Derwent blender and a Caran d'Ache blender. The Derwent blender has been stated that it is the best, one of the better blenders for blending oil-based pencils. So I'm going to do it up here on this one here. And we're going to see, I'm going to make sure I don't have anything on my blender. So there's no excess color on that blender. It's just straight blender. A colorless blender has no color. It's just the binder pigment or the binder of a pencil, of a Derwent pencil. So I'm going through and I'm bringing those colors together and eliminating that hard line. That's what I'm doing here. Bringing those colors together to eliminate that hard line. And it definitely works well with the Derwent blender. I'm going to do it on this side here, and we're going to bring those colors together. See if we can eliminate that line. So the Caran d'Ache didn't eliminate that hard line or didn't extend it out at all, and actually sealed it in, which is another thing that you can do with this blender, especially if you have a pencil that runs with a liquid medium and you're going to be using a wet medium on top of it. You can take your Caran d'Ache blender and go over top of it. I'm going to do that here. I'm going to go right over top of this red with the Caran d'Ache blender. Now it's an orangey red, but you know what I mean. It's orange. I went over it with the blender. Now we're going to dust it off, make sure that there's no remnants whatsoever that the water pen could be picking up. Now I'm going to grab one of my water blenders. There we go. So this is just a water pen. Make sure that I have no color coming off of there. None at all. And then we're going to squeeze it a little bit and get some of that water moving. And we're going to go over top of it. And as you can see, there is no movement whatsoever. None. Where if I went over it here, because I went over, oh, actually the blue's not moving either. Oh, there it goes. So I went over this with the Derwent blender. That little area that I sealed there is sealed. But the open area that I didn't seal isn't. But the Caran d'Ache area, you can actually feel the water pool up on top of it. So that tells you that that's sealed in extremely well. And you could probably go right over top of that with your paint. Just be careful, it may not stick to it. So if you are painting something and you wanted to, say, cover this in say a luminance paint, a nice little shiny paint to make it shine. You may not be able to do that if you use the Caran d'Ache blender. However, you will be able to do that here if you use the Derwent blender. Alright, so down here we're going to take the Caran d'Ache blender, and I'm going to tell you what I do here. Now I don't need to blend this. This blended itself with the three colors together. It blended itself into a progressive line of color. But I want to remove all the white spot from it. I don't like white spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Caran d'Ache blender and I'm going to go from light, oh, Make sure that I don't have any excess color on there from the previous. Into the dark. So blend the light first, move it into the darker area, and then move it into the darkest area. And as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm just burnishing that page. However, if I went from dark to light, basically it would make that transition darker in this area than I want it to be. But going from light to dark with your blender pencil during a transition when you're burnishing like this maintains that progressive color transition. Now once you've gone over it a few times and you've sealed that in, if you have a couple more spots, you can definitely go the other way. You're not going to be dragging that pigment with you. You're going to be just running the binder over top of it so that you get that seal. So as you can see, there is a absolute transition there with no hard line, and that's what I use oil pencils for, how I use oil pencils. I don't typically do this, but when I do, I want to be sure that I'm not going to have start and stop unless I'm doing a rainbow where I want that start and stop, and that's usually the only time I do this. Okay, so let's get into the information part of it. The Raam Refines are this is a professional grade, quote unquote, product as far as Raam Refined is concerned. They do say that they are a waxy formulation, but they do feel very oily to me with layering and that sort of thing. With going over top of them with the wax blender compared to the oil-based blender from the Derwent set, I find that they blend, where they move together and blend more than they did over here with the wax. The wax sealed it and removed the white spot and moved that pigment around, but I don't find that it actually allowed me to eliminate a line where this one did, if that makes sense. So, and also the laydown, I don't feel that I could, with a wax pencil, you have more of an ability to mash those colors together and make them blend together, where with these I felt that they required that little bit of finesse, little bit of patience to build that color up, which you could also do with oil-based, wax-based pencils. I just find that it's easier to use an oil-based pencil that way. So add 180 pencils for the set, and the cost for the set is $49.99, I do believe. No, how much should I pay for it? Hold on a sec. I will be able to tell you in about 30 seconds. Not even. I'm quicker than that, I promise. Let's see. Although I have ordered a few things, so it might take longer than I expected. Let's click on this. So $46.99 a set, in the set. So $46.99 divided by 180. Give me my. So $46.99 divided by 180. So it works out to 26 cents. That's what I have here. 26 cents per pencil. Fantastic pricing for this set. If used properly, it is an absolutely beautiful set. It has a fantastic selection of colors and color families. It has a good selection of each color family. So it's not just, 90% yellow or 75% yellow and orange, a few greens, a few blues, a few purples, one or two reds. It has a really um, good selection in each color family, including the grays, which is great. It has a few of the warmer grays, the French grays, but it has a good progression of gray as you move down the line. And of course, once I re-swatch it, I'll be able to show that a little bit better. So all in all, my first impressions with the testing that I have done, as well as the cost of the pencil, they also offer an 18-month warranty. So if there's something wrong with your pencils a year and a half down the road, send them back. They have a warranty. So that's really good information to know. Make sure that you save your receipt, your purchasing order, everything like that, and utilize that 18-month warranty. Take some time with your pencils and decide whether you like them or not, whether they work for you or not. It's sometimes not even whether or not you like a pencil. Sometimes it's whether or not they work for you. Everybody's different. Nobody has the exact same amount of pressure in their hand. Nobody has the exact same amount of movement in their hand. Everybody is different. So expecting a pencil to work the exact same way that it does for me, for you, is ludicrousy. It's ludicrous. It's complete and utter insanity. If you find that a set of pencils I'm using don't work for you, the layout doesn't work for you, the way I'm using them doesn't work for you, by all means, figure out how they work for you. If I can help you understand what works for you and what doesn't work for you, then my job is done. Then I've done my job well. If I can teach you how to use them the way I use them and you get the same results, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. If I'm not able to show you the best way I feel or I can use them and it doesn't work for you at all, then by all means, try something different. Don't continually push yourself to color something the way I'm coloring it. If it doesn't work for you, experiment, practice, try different things and find different ways to do it. Watch other YouTubers. Make sure that you have all of the information and try all of the different things so that you get a good understanding of what works for you. All right, so with that, that concludes the initial, it's just blending these or removing the white spot with these and blending from the light to the dark and getting rid of that transition line with the Derwent blender. It definitely tells me that these have more of an oil base instead of a wax base. Of course, they're going to be called a waxy pencil because everybody knows that sooner or later, when it boils down to it, it's a wax oil mixture. It all depends upon whether or not there's more oil in the mixture or more wax in the mixture. That's pretty much what it boils down to. Colors such as greens and darker colors like that, I was not surprised to find scratchy ones in any set. I'm never surprised to find scratchy ones anymore. I used to be. I used to find scratchy ones and go, oh God, what a horrible set. I don't do that anymore. And the reason why I don't do that anymore, especially with greens and dark colors, dark tones, is because I spoke to a manufacturing company about pencils and about why a lot of my greens and a lot of different colors like that have that that problem of being scratchy. And to me, it's a problem. But there's a difference between scratchy, where it's scraping a hole in your paper, and extremely dry kind of scratchy. The extremely dry kind of scratchy just tells me that there's more pigment in that pencil than there is binder. So when your pencils are highly pigmented with less binder, they're going to feel really dry. And they're going to have a bit of a dry scratch to them. And that's what these have in their greens and their blues. They have a bit of a dry scratch to them. I did find a couple that are scrape your page scratchy. And if they are scrape your page scratchy, that means that the binder or the pigment that they use to mix into the binder to make the core hasn't dissolved properly and has a chunk of pigment that is scratching or scraping into your page. Now you can either sharpen it out and ignore it, or if it's prominent in a lot of pencils in your set, send them back, because at that point there's a quality control issue or a quality issue in your pencils that is going to cause you aggravation, irritation, and stress. If it's going to cause you aggravation, irritation, and stress, get rid of it. So my point to that is sometimes you'll be coloring with a pencil and you'll be going through your lighter tones, your um, pinks, your purples, your oranges, your yellows, and they're so smooth. And then you get to your dark blues, your dark purples, and your dark greens, and they feel scratchy, they feel dry. And that's why, is because the pigmentation in those colors is higher than the binder levels of those colors. To ensure a deep, rich color, such as this one here, this one I found to be scratchy. To get a good, deep, rich color like that, they have to up that to binder ratio, so they don't have that smooth binder running it across the page as they do in, say, this one here. That's a very light color. All right, that's enough of my ranting and raving and trying to explain things with no words. I don't know what has been going on lately, but my words have not been coming to me in an easy flow kind of way that I normally have them. So I thank you all very much for watching. I do believe the Raam Refined 180 set will stay in my collection for a little longer. Um, and I will play with them a little bit. I will experiment with them and whatnot. The one thing you have to remember with a lot of these sets is they are Asian made. They are made in the Chinese market. And a lot of times, when you find something made in a Chinese market and you find another product that has the same number of pencils or the same marketing information, 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up with the exact same colors. Maybe not the exact same colors, but the exact same mixtures in those pencils as you did the previous set. Because 9 times out of 10, they're all made in the same factories. The Raam Refined may be made in the same factory as, say, the Norberg and Linden. Could be made in the same factory as Delhi, or, not Delhi, because Delhi's not made in China. I think they're Japanese. Could be, no, they're made in China. The Delhis, oh, what is the other one that has these little bands? The Obos, you know, those kinds of pencils. Some of them have a little bit different of a binder ratio, so they seem a little bit smoother. keep an eye out for those. Some have more colors, keep an eye out for those. You know, but if you are a curator or a collector of all things pencil like I am, I don't mind that they're all made in the same factory. I don't mind that I have, 20, 30, 40 sets of different looking pencils that the cores are all close to the same. I like the look of the pencils. So if you have, um, if you don't want to have as many sets as I do, if you're not a huge curator or collector of colored pencils themselves, and just like the look of the barrels and the look of all the colors in a line, that's my biggest joy is looking at all the different colors in lines. It's thrilling to me. I don't know. I'm weird. But if you don't want to have several different Asian sets that are close to the same thing, do your research, watch your YouTube channels, watch your different channels that do a lot of swatching or do a lot of coloring and color comparing with other swatches. I know Shannon does some of that as well, where she will actually color with a different pencil and compare it to a different pencil. And, I watched one of her videos yesterday and, or well, not her video, her live yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Could have been the day before. Um, Everything just it seems to be blending together for me, so it could have been the day before. But she was going through all of her budget brands and comparing them color for color. And a lot of them, you couldn't tell the difference between them. You couldn't tell the difference between the colors and the lay down of the pencil. So sometimes it is better just to get the biggest, best set available from a Chinese market and use them until they're done. Use them until you no longer have a color that you are absolutely requiring that you use 110%. Then more than likely, you will find with the next uh, set of pencils from an Asian market that color is in there somewhere. But if you're a collector like me, just buy them all. That's what I do. I just buy them all because I just love the look of them. I'm weird. Sorry. I have a lot of different colored pencils and I love the look of every single one of the sets. So, and I color with every single one of them. So they're not going to waste. I enjoy them and I play with them. So I play with all my toys. All right, guys, thank you all very much for watching. My final first impression of the Raam Refined 180 set is after opening the second set and sharpening up some pencils and not finding any manufacturer defects on the exterior of the pencils. I have been able to do a continuous three color blend going from light, medium to dark. I have been able to do a rainbow blend going from red to orange to yellow to green to blue. I did find that they do run, but I also know that with the Caran d'Ache blender stick, I don't know about the Caran d'Ache blender pencil, but the Caran d'Ache blender stick does seal your colored pencil in. So if you want to do a watercolor over top of it, or if you want to, do a sparkle over top of it or something else, go over it lightly with this. Test it. If it's still running a little bit, let it dry, go over it again. If you are going to completely burnish the page like I did here, You may find that your glitter paint or whatever else isn't going to stick to it. It's just going to bead up on it. And that's just because this is highly wax, a high amount of wax. All right. Price wise, they're absolutely fantastic. The 18-month warranty is a no-brainer. If I have a problem with these 18 months down the road and I contact Raam Refined, whatever company is behind them, and say, okay, these suck, I don't like them, I can send them back. They are a 3.8 millimeter core, so they are one of the thicker cores available in the industry, and they're pretty. So I think I'm pretty much done there. That's pretty much it. Check marks all the way down the line for me. Of course, I will be ordering them, like putting them all into color family order, because this order does my brain in. And I will be coloring with them a little bit at some point soon. Other than that, worth every penny of the 26 cents per pencil. All right, guys, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Of course, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the like button and make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the content of the channel. Those are the absolutely best ways possible to support the channel. If you do find that you want to financially support the channel, of course you can do so. All you have to do is hit that join button below the video and it will take you to my memberships. And there's different membership levels with different perks available for members. You can, of course, join me there with some wonderful emotes when we're doing lives and all sorts of wonderful stuff. Yeah, so other than that, if you want to join us over on Facebook as well, I just remembered. Make sure that you fill out the application form. Somebody will get you admitted as quickly as possible. Other than that, guys, wonderful set of pencils, the Raam Refined 100. Very pretty, beautiful box if it doesn't come dented. Mine came dented, but if yours doesn't come dented, absolutely wonderful box. Passed all the tests except for the water test. They run a little bit with water, but like I said, you can seal it in with your Caran d'Ache blender pencil. I don't know about the pencil, but I do know about the stick. I don't have the pencil itself. So, wonderful, budget-friendly set of colored pencils. And it is called the Raam Refined Masters Collection 180 Premium Soft Colored Pencils. All right. I got in my final colors for the Caran d'Ache. The Caran d'Ache. The limousine. I got in the limousine of all limousines. I'm so excited to have finally finished off this set. And like I said, I found that for the ones that I was missing, it was just cheaper to purchase the 76 set as it's on sale. Right now it's actually on sale cheaper than it was on sale on Black Friday. Go figure. But it's only a couple of bucks, otherwise I'd be upset. But it's always the way with me. I buy something and then 3 days later it goes on sale cheaper. It's always the way. And then of course, the beautiful, wonderful, I don't know about wonderful yet. I haven't played with them a lot, but they're pretty. The Faber-Castell Eco Super Soft Color on Black and White 100 colored pencils. Look at that. It has 6 neon and 6 pastel and 100 beautiful pencils all in one go. In the US, these were marketing availability for the US. Like if you go to the Faber-Castell website and look at these pencils, the market in the US is only for up to, I think, 50 of these colored pencils. So on their website. So, and they are stamped with the Brazilian stamp. So I know that they are a legitimate product. And that is what we have covered today. Of course, remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. Of course, tomorrow I will be doing a full first impressions of the Faber-Castell 100 Super Soft Eco Pencils. Until then, relax, color, and stay safe. I know I've already said it, but it's always something to say more than once, every single time. Until tomorrow, bye bye for now.